talk about this bloody done.
Hang on, we're just about live at the moment. That's all right. We are live. G'day everybody, it's your friendly neighbour Web Radio Man, Johnny Cantoni from Web Radio Bass Coast, and thank you Council Government Watch for letting us broadcast this serious issue, being that it's all to do with all councils across the board, and just getting you guys to experience what's happening here at Bass Coast. Really quickly, just in our island ward, there's 3 seats, there's 7 or 6 or 7 candidates. Out of all of them, there's only one candidate that I've seen over the last 8 years put any questions in the council, and that is John Trigt. So he's my number one for anybody, because at least he's shown some real care, and the questions he's put in there have been recorded, so you can have a look. It's real care about the carnival site, real care about the carnival site. All the others haven't been, and even Ronnie Bauer, I think he's got to go, or not. I think he's a lovely man, but he voted against getting the carnival site, every single one of the council's existing ones, including David Rooks. And David Rooks has done a few rippers to vote against the carnival site getting the permit, voted to shut down Question Time, and also voted to shut down broadcast at Question Time, and a few other things he voted against that you don't realise over the last 8 years. And he has a ticketed crew that I'm going to let everybody know across the board authentically. And I have Graham Jolly on board here, and he'll shut me down if I'm saying it wrong, but authentically, if you're going to be a councillor that represents our council and what our community want, the ratepayers who own the money that pay the rates to the Incorporated Council, this time we expect you to really listen and move on what the people are doing and talking about and needing, like the football oval, etc. Through Graham Jolly and other great community advocates like that will help create either petitions that will have to be tabled so we can see something happen in that area over the next 12 months. If they're on different agendas, either environmental or LGBTQ stuff, that's got nothing to do with this community. We are environmentally sound anyway. It's a state and federal government. I'm going to take you for a quick drive, so I'm going to start the car, turn the camera around. Graham, you can say hello to everybody if you like, just really quickly.
Yeah, hi Johnny and your listeners. Thanks very much for inviting us on your show again today. It's about time a few home truths were actually spoken about. One of our councillors that served for the last 4 years down here on Phillip Island in the island, what's known as the Island Ward. And I'm going to take your listeners back to 2022, actually July 2022 council meeting, where the councillors had to vote accordingly towards a new governance rules, which is the most important document that the councillors have to produce, and then the rules from that point onwards are based on the governance rules and the Local Government Act. Now, at the 20th of July 2022 meeting, when it got to the stage of the agenda item was to approve the written document of the governance rules, Councillor David Rooks moved an alternate motion. And I'm going to read it to you. That Council adopt the governance rules 2022, including the election period policy 2022, subject to the removal of the Division 8 public question time and any other reference to public question time or question time from the governance rules 2022. That's an important, very important thing for your listeners to understand, Johnny.
Okay, hang on. So he's trying to shut down the biggest voice in the whole of Bass Coast, which is Phillip Island. But he's from the island, and he's not saying anything about it, which I think is pretty much double crossing the ratepayers of Phillip Island, if not Bass Coast. Well, that's my opinion.
Luckily, the majority of councillors at the meeting saw through the damage that this would have made out there in the public and to the community of the Bass Coast, because they wouldn't accept that alternate motion, and it never happened. But later on in the meeting, a little bit further on, there was another vote that was very important. and the vote was to continue live streaming of council's meeting at every single meeting. And lo and behold, Councillor David Rooks, Councillor Tisha Lang, and our Mayor at the time also, Councillor Michael Whelan, voted against the continuation of community live streams at every single council meeting into the distant future. And just luckily that got voted against us as well, and consequently we have live streaming of meetings. But the damage got even worse. I'm going to move forward to December 2022. Councillor Ronnie Bauer, he wanted to have a streetgate master plan was put in place, and consequently Councillor David Rooks moved the master plan for the streetscape, which means that the cows main street will be one way and parking will be reduced. Now that's all very well, but at the meeting in the 20th of March 2024, Councillor Ronnie Bauer put up a motion that would allow, he was trying to get the council to actually do a traffic flow study on Phillip Island. And consequently, when he spoke about that, that was voted down as well by, lo and behold, Councillor David Rooks. And then when you go and look further into it, there was another parking report that was put on there by Councillor Ronnie Bauer, and that was voted down as well by Councillor David Rooks.
Oh, so they don't want people to know about the transportation here on the island for a certain reason, which obviously...
They've been trying to stop that, right? Been trying to stop it. Also, Councillor David Rooks voted against rezoning the Gap Road property on the 7th of July 2024. People can go and have a look at this sort of information in Council's own minutes of the meetings. But then we get to the 17th of July, and a petition was put in. No, there was a community question that you put in, Johnny, about the carnival land.
Yep.
Yes, a very important thing. And would councils please explain as to why the petition I signed to have the carnival-owned land and cows rezoned from farming to recreational has not been presented to the July 2024 council meeting? Now that answer came back that it was going to be tabled at the August council meeting. That's all very well. So we then get to the 21st of August council meeting, and that petition of rezoning the carnival land in cows from farming to recreational was put, and lo and behold, guess who moved the motion not to allow it to take place? Councillor David Rooks and Councillor Ronnie Bauer second that motion. And all of the councillors voted not to rezone the land, the carnival site land down there.
I don't know.
I've got that's in the minutes of the meeting, and I've got the letter that I received from Damien Prendergast,
yes,
acting manager, strategic and growth at Coast Shire Council, dated the 30th of August 2024.
Damien is, we've got some great staff members, and Damien is actually one of them. I don't know him personally, but I've had interactions with him, and it is difficult, but he was fair with me when I had a chat with him. I get what they're up to, and I said, there are some great things to talk about regarding the cinema here at Benedict. But Graham, your updates have been fantastic. Now, I do want to wrap this up because there's something else I want to do with you really quickly. But people, I want everyone to understand that this day and age, more so than ever before, has the community got the ability to keep in check the integrity of the positions that councillors hold, because the integrity of that position would be tested for anybody. So it's not about the person, but it's about us keeping the integrity, being that we own the money to pay the rates incorporated council to run run our community with regarding our livability, lifestyle and well-being. And this is what Graham Jolly's been teaching me and realising there is so much more. If all of us just put in one question, politely, appropriately, with integrity and decorum and purpose, it would just make them realise that these representatives are absolutely, make sure that they represent us and don't let their, like an idle mind is the devil's playground. So if we don't make sure our next councillors understand this is really what we want, and one of the basic things is the recreational centre, because it delivers so much for the local community, and so much more could be built on that, like the pump track and an extra BMX track and a few other things that could be easily done. Graham Jolly did mention they do have in reserve $608 or $9 million. This whole project is about $450 million. And it's not going to be made for another 25 years. I mean, I don't know if I'll be around then, but I'd like to use that. And for the people who have been fighting for the last 30 years, to hear what you've just informed us about regarding David Rooks, unfortunately, it's not something personal, people. This is just the information that we've found. And for whatever reason, I know the gentleman has some is a great man, but for some reason, as you can see, the decisions are going against it is either dishonest or just not agreeing with what the community really want.
No,
Football
they're not dishonest, Johnny. You can't say that.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
I will say that our elected
Take that
councillors that we currently have, they haven't been representing the people that voted for them properly down here on Phillip Island.
Well, let's give them an opportunity to do that this time. Well,
that's very, very clear what's going on with our current councillors at the moment. The current councillors approved, and they have to approve by law, statutory law, a 10-year capital works program as part of the 10-year long-term financial plan of council. They have to do that. Now, I've got a page here in front of me, and one of the items that's a major high-level project is the Phillip Island Transfer Station in Gap Road. The council put into that plan $100,000 in 2021-22 budget, and then another $100,000 2024-25. Then when you drop down further in the same report, the Gap Road Master Plan implementation, they put $250,000 in 2024-25, and consequently, the council's not doing anything about that site down there.
So,
but to make it even worse, Johnny, they also, on this high-level capital works program, they put an allocation of aquatics and leisure centres. It's quite clear. In 2023-24, they've allocated $6,500,000. 2024-25, $20 million. And 2025-26.
Hang back. Go back. What did you just say? Just go back to before you said the millions.
In the 10-year long-term financial plan of council, they've got a heading under major projects, high-level projects, aquatics and leisure centre, allocation of money, 2023-24, $6,500,000, 2024-25, $20 million, and 2025-26, another $20 million, being a total of $46,500,000 for aquatics in the leisure centre, that the councillors won't even allow the land down there to be rezoned. Now, it'll take at least 12 months to get it rezoned, and at the moment, even though they put money in that long-term financial plan, it's going to go nowhere at the moment until we get some new councillors down here on the island.
Well, a friend of mine said two things. One thing is, we do need to educate everybody, or ratepayers and voters, that whoever, doesn't matter who gets in, but please, let's back John Trigt, you're number one. Just put him on there. Because I know, I've seen the questions he's put in there, and they're appropriate regarding council. Of all the others, there have been shortcomings even to build up to it. So, and let's get all brand new, fresh crew in there completely. Would be fantastic. But look, moving right along, there is some big things that are happening at the moment. Graham, I will actually let you finish off because I realise this.
Well, you can't have a councillor like David Rooks down there trying to shut down community question time with an alternate motion at a meeting, trying to also go down the path of stopping live stream of council meetings at every single meeting.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And a councillor like that also voting against the improvements and putting a transfer station at Gap Road, and then stopping the rezoning of the carnival site down there. You can't have a councillor down here doing that. There's people been waiting nearly 33 years for a pool down here on Phillip Island. They've been trying year after each
not just a Phillip,
period of councillors trying to get something done, and it's going nowhere.
Not just a swimming pool. You're talking about football ovals, cricket ovals. You're talking. The cricket oval and football oval. You're talking about 800 kids who miss out each year, and that's what they're doing. Allegedly, been missing out on. And for you to state that they're already organised the $46 million to get it built or get the ball rolling, even for that's all the money that needed to be built for the swimming pool, and for it not to be built in 20 years. What they're just doing, getting money for wages, because it's an amazing amount of money they use on wages, and it gets pretty messed up. But you're saying nearly $40 million out of $60 million we gave them last year, it went on wages. And what's really changed, except for the blowout of Bernadette? I'm really happy that Bernadette's here, though. Don't mind you, there's a few shortcomings, like all of our existing history is gone, like the tapestry, the bells and what they really stood for. That's gone there too. I mean, there's so much. The chair, the mayor's chair that used to be in the cultural centre is never going to be back there again. And one of the longest lasting and self-financing local community arts group isn't back in there, and they're down the road at the old SES or fire building.
CFA building, Johnny.
Yeah, and that is an amazing community group that's lasted for a very long time and paid their own way. And to be honest, people will go cover these guys, because it's amazing for the presence and the work that gets done there. That's true art there. That is the true level of Phillip Island artistry and community art and gallery type stuff. But Graham, let's wrap this up. But
but there's another thing I want to bring to everybody's attention, Johnny. In the 10-year long-term financial plan, capital works high level, there is another allocation of monies, and the actual word is other waste / depot infrastructure. Other waste / depot infrastructure.
They get away from this. They get away with this because not enough people are asking questions and keeping them honest. And this is what all we need to do. All you need to understand anywhere in Australia is just put questions in. Start telling people. It only takes 5 minutes.
But I want to tell people what this is all about, Johnny. Other waste / depot infrastructure. The councillors in their long-term financial plan, 2022-23, they put $2,114,000 as an allocated funding against that. And then the year after, in 2023-24, another $407,000 for other waste / depot infrastructure. Now, what's that for?
Well, I don't know. Right on.
I think it'd be good if your listeners out there, Johnny, can start asking some of these questions of the current councillors of what all of these allocations are in the current 10-year long-term financial plan's all about. The current councillors.
Yep. I know.
They're not representing the ratepayers in a proper manner.
Well, another thing is, if people don't understand that councillors, if you're new candidates, you need to understand you need to be representing the people who own the rates, to pay the incorporated councils, are your ratepayers, because they really haven't been listened to over the last 8 years. And Web Radio and Council Government Watch and the Bass Coast Ratepaying and Residents Association have been keeping an eye on this and have so much more proof, and with the documentation that even the council runs off, and that's all they run off. There's some big problems here, and our next councillors, you need to understand, across the board, Les Lark is in a different area, but we're going to pop him a good one too, because he needs to get in again and get this messed up, cleaned up financially. But there are some big things we need to talk about. But understand, if you're going to represent...
Here's another big thing, Johnny, I'm going to tell everybody
Hang on. If you're going to represent, make sure, and we'll be making sure you represent us, and we'll help you in doing that too. So contact us and be in close contact with us in the future. I hope to speak to each and every one of you before the elections are finished. Go for it, Graham.
Yeah, there's in this 10-year long-term financial plan, the council has also put an allocation in, and the heading is Unsealed Roads Upgrade.
Yep.
Unsealed Roads Upgrade. 2021-22, $500,000. 2023-24, $1 million. 2024-25, $865,000. The special charge scheme down there at Surf Beach and Sutherland Bay, the people down there, the ratepayers voted against what the council was proposing, right? But what's all this allocation in this 10-year long-term financial plan for when things are not happening?
I'm saying
even
no
our
change.
councillors wouldn't even talk to the people down there in proper sit-down meetings.
They're not allowed to, are they?
Well, I don't know about that. If we got elected councillors representing the ratepayers here on Phillip Island or right across the whole of the Bass Coast, I would have thought it would have been common courtesy for a councillor, whether he agrees with what people have to say, is to sit down and listen to what they have to say in a proper manner.
I think, unfortunately, in the past we were able to trust our representatives, and at the moment we need a lot more proof in being able to back them up. But then again, our next councillors need a lot more support than what our existing ones had. And I think, through what you've been doing and through what we can do, maybe we can create, little monthly events that we can all turn up. It might be a nice little market, the councillors. But then again, I don't know if that's going to happen, but we have to make sure that our next new councillors and all a new group vote one, John Trigt, be your first pick, please, people, because he's the only one I know that's put in questions over the last 8 years. All the others have either stopped things moving forward, and if you're talking about the rezoning or the recovering of roads, or if you're a footy player or a cricket player and you missed out on footy this year because there was no venues, start getting involved, at least putting a question in. And this is what our representatives should be doing. It's not about running off and doing stuff for environmental stuff that gets done on state and federal level. Doesn't need to take our money that we've spent over $1.8 billion in 30 years and still don't have. That's our 35,000 ratepayers. That's $51,000 plus out of each of the ratepayers, let alone the taxpayers. And Graham Jolly has also proven the last 10 years, including taxpayer money, you're looking at over $1 billion in 10 years. So in 30 years, $3 billion, we don't have a swimming pool, we don't have a football over, we don't have anything except for Bernadette, which blew out, which is okay. I'm not on about that. But it is up to us to keep them honest, and it is up to us to keep the integrity, and the way you do that is let them know you represent us, and we're adding questions as well, because questions put a lot of heat on these people, put a lot of weight. Imagine being a representative and having 100 questions every month delivered to you personally, and you'll see them in the street, and they'll say, I hope you looked at my questions because you're representing. You don't rule us, you represent us. And it's up to us to do that, because if we don't give them options, then they have to go with what they want, and that's indirectly accidental ruling. So give them direction and get involved. Graham, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, well, there's another thing that your listeners might be interested in, Johnny. In this 10-year long-term financial plan that the council has put aside, people down that live in the Wonthaggi and Inverloch area, which is called the Bunurong ward down there,
yep,
they should be asking the councillors about this particular allocation. It's called the Old Wonthaggi Secondary College Site Redevelopment.
Yep.
In 2022-23, they put $1 million into the plan. And then in 2023-24, another $500,000. What's going on?
I'm
the
getting this.
councillors putting all of this sort of thing into a long-term financial
I
plan
get it.
and nothing happens?
I get it. No wonder we have a $40 million a year in wages, because people, they're doing these layouts of $100 million. That's employing people. I mean, what they do, if they've done nothing, they would have just employed people to do stuff. And whatever that is. It'd be interesting to get a breakdown of it, but I think we don't even get breakdowns of that sort, do we?
No, we don't, no. And when you were talking just before about the plans to put an aquatic centre and sports ovals and stuff like that. But when you go and have a look at the survey that people were asked to comment on to do with the Recreation Reserve, Phillip Island Recreation Reserve Master Plan, 82% of respondents wanted a pool down there and cows.
No, they didn't. If they had 82, mate, they would have built it. What are you talking about? 82. So this is the point, and the reason why they're not listening is that 82%, we all need to keep that going every month. Just for 5 minutes, put a question in, and we can help you with that as well. Graham, we've got to wrap this up, mate. It's daylight savings, by the way, people.
I've given people enough understanding. Some of this information, I must admit, Mr. John Trigt, the candidate we got down here in Island Ward, has been prodding me to speak about some of these sorts of things, and rightly so too, because if you go and look at every single council meeting for the last 4 years, Mr. John Trigt has been out there putting 2 questions into pretty much 98% of council meetings.
Aye.
Every single time he attends the meetings, he comes along, he asks questions, and consequently he's now running for council. So I'll be supporting Mr. John Trigt, but there's a couple of other good candidates as well down there. But rightly so, everybody's got to make up their own mind of who they want to vote for. And but my vote is for the people that want to act in a proper manner to get the necessary things that need to be done, that's already been identified by council in proper plans and so forth, to make it happen.
There you go.
The
Thank
carnival
you.
site and the Hilton Chadwick Reserves must be rezoned, and the development must take place at the same time. Some of the development can take place in parallel to the rezoning. Things like a turning lane, the crossovers, the sewerage, the water, the electricity supply. They've got to apply applications for all of that sort of thing to get that sort of works moving forward. It might not happen within the 12 months until the rezoning is finalised, but at least they'll be in a point of time where they can actually move straight ahead as soon as the minister gives the okay for the rezoning to take place.
Graham Jolly, I really admire and respect your updates and your reports that you do. It's been fantastic. I know it helps a lot of people out there as well. We'll catch up hopefully by Wednesday night at the latest. I'd love to have a bit of a chat and a bit of a wrap up in the studio to talk about some of these other candidates. Hopefully we can hook up a bit of a chat to them. But whoever gets in, it doesn't matter. One thing we do need to do is make sure it's all brand new blood. So none of the old blood, they're out now over the last 8 years. A Blowout and Bernadette and nothing else. And they've all voted. All the ones that are in at the moment voted against the site being changed to a recreational site, which means all you footballers, all your cricketers, all the people like swimming and riding and walking, it's kind of everybody, really. It's years, it's 10, 15 years away. And they believe that we could never, ever actually get it when we've got $609 million. Let's put some pressure on with decorum, integrity and purpose. God bless you all. Thanks for the update. Thank you, Graham Jolly. This will be running on loop on Web Radio Bass Coast all week until we update with other candidates and they'll get their run. We hope to speak to John Trigt very soon and have a really good chat about what he's been putting out there. But people, John Trigt is a great Bass Coastian. There you go. Probably one of the greatest here as far as running at the moment, because he does put in questions. Always has, always will. Keep smiling, stay kind. Thank you, Graham Jolly. Well, God bless you and your family and everyone you love. And to all you people, God bless you and everybody you love. Thanks for your time. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, Johnny.
Keep smiling, stay kind. Bye for now.